All right, let's just begin. People can come in if they want now. Um, I'll say a few words as usual, and then we can speak and just this is always a free conversation. We can just talk about whatever comes up. Um, but what we're going to be talking about is just what's happening, what seems to be happening, just this, just what is. It's so simple. It's so simple that it can't really be described, that it's in a way completely pointless to try to describe this. So I'm not going to bother trying to describe this. I'm just going to speak around it. I'm just going to speak and just see what comes out. And the what really what all that ends up being expressed here is simply that all there is what is. All there is what seems to be happening. All there is just immediacy, just this immediacy, this, just what is, this, just what's going on. And of course, that isn't happening for anyone. There isn't anybody that's there. There's no entity or thing called a me. There might seem to be a sense of contraction, a sense of this is mine, this is my life, this is time, this is past, this is present, this is future. But all that really is just part of a kind of dream. It's a part of a bubble that seems to go on for human beings. A bubble that seems to just kind of encapsulate a person's apparent existence. And that's what seems to go on. It's just one thing or another thing happening to me on a road called my life, which is going to get somewhere, which is going to get to somewhere where then I can feel better or I can become something different. Because this, what seems to be happening is just simply not enough. This is not enough for me. This is just simply not enough. It's got to be something else. It's got to be something where this feels better because what me feels is the constant gnawing pain of not being able to get what it wants. And this, what is being expressed here, is not what me wants at all. This is just expressing that anything that the me state, and it's all it is a state. It's just a state of energy, me. It's not a real thing. But all that state longs for is for itself to not be there. And yet, at the same time, fears that the most. And when I say fear, what I mean is that all it knows how to do, all that quality of energy knows how to do is to contract. It just is a quality of contraction. So it doesn't know that there's nothing else that apparent apparent me can do. It just is in a state of constant contraction. So all that drives this apparent seeking, this movement, this constant seeking for something else, something other. And what seems to occur is that that can just completely fall away. That whole dream of being that seemed to happen from a quite an early age, that whole dream can just break down and completely fall apart because it just runs out of energy. There isn't any more energy to seek. There isn't any more drive, ambition anymore. All of that just completely breaks down. And all that's left is just this. There's just this. There's just immediacy, just what it is for no one. So we can talk around that, talk around things that are associated with that. And of course, we're not going to get anywhere. This is not going to give a whole load of answers to anything. But what can seem to go on in these kind of situations is that there is just an instinctive draw to this kind of discussion and a recognition that in a way there's no one that can that is coming to meetings. All that seems to be happening is that there is an apparent breaking down of me, an apparent falling away of me, because that whole energy simply cannot carry on. It's just burning out. Um, it just dissolves. So yeah, anything that anybody wants to say, we can talk about.
Are we allowed to
Hi.
speak up? Are we off mute?
Yes.
Is this
Yeah,
on there? Okay.
sure. Joe, yeah, Joe, you can, that's Joey there, isn't it? Yeah, 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 please, you
Yeah,
can,
I was stuck with the Joey with my name when I was a kid, but you call me Dr. Joe or Mr. Bertino, anything doesn't matter. Um, yeah, hi. I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm a spiritual teacher, author, musician, and a Reiki master over here in the United States. I found you online, and yeah, I'm basically, just putting myself out there, sharing my wisdom, and thought I'd come on and everything. But yeah, to say something to start, yeah, I guess, in that way that to say, maybe it's my author side, that there's kind of a joy in being aimless in the sense of that you can't get to, have there's a relief and a joy in the kind of almost failure, in the failure to obtain
no,
in that kind
just to stop you there for a second. This is nothing
of
to do with joy whatsoever in that way. This is not talking about something where somebody finds something and then there is a sudden explosion of joy, because that would be somebody finding something. This is the end of of there being someone. This is the end of there being somebody who is trying to find something and then completely fail
Just be careful of one thing,
in that
Jason,
process
because
of finding
the
something.
person has no issue with.
Sorry. So yeah, so that's the that's it's a slightly different thing, because essentially what's being expressed here is that there is no possibility of there being any kind of spiritual message whatsoever. This is actually pointing out that any kind of spiritual teacher or teaching is completely irrelevant to this conversation.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know you've said a lot, so I don't want to seem insulting. What is it? Can you put it into words specifically what it is that you're after?
So,
You know?
there's nothing that I'm after. All that there is here is just the recognition that there's no possibility of finding anything for anybody. This is the end of finding something. This is the end of seeking. So there's no way of finding anything because there's nobody to find it. There's no message here. This is absolutely the end of all kinds of messages. This is just a statement expressing that there's just what there is. All there is this. All there is immediacy. There's just immediacy for no one. That's very different from there being a spiritual message. This is not a spiritual message at all, because it implies that there is something that one needs to get to, which is spiritual. This is the point here is actually that there is no such thing as spirituality. It's quite a different expression from other expressions which talk about a path and somebody needing to get down that path.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in that way, I mentioned the word also relief. Yeah, and in that way, I mean, relief I see as a kind of almost like a fundamental thing, that, there's so many options, and so many, and then it comes down to the seriousness, of spirituality and religion, and instead of just kind of what kind of, drink that you want that day, and I think that if you take it all the way, logically, that's kind of where the immediacy is, right?
Well,
Just
no, no,
being,
that would be the idea that there would be a sort of progress that you would be able to kind of move down a path or drink from a fountain of apparent religion and then be able to get something from that. And that would take you down a path which would eventually end in immediacy. Now, this is absolutely nothing to do with that. This is actually, in a way, this sort of the recognition that all forms of path, all forms of religion, actually, in a certain sense, cathartically are removed. There's no possibility of this having anything to do with religion and spirituality. This is, in a certain sense, the end of all of that dream of trying to get down a path which is taking you somewhere. This is just there's no chance. There's no possibility. Yeah, I mean, it is a very different message. This is not something that really can be understood. It's not something that can be tried out or learnt from or anything like that at all. There's nothing here which has got anything to actually teach of any kind. This is not a teaching at all. This isn't even some people will take that what I've just said and then suggest, oh, but what you're then doing is you're teaching non-teaching, which is amazing. I mean, that's where me goes to. It tries to attach to this and try to say, oh, this is you're saying that's a teaching. No, no, this is actually pointing out that this is absolutely nothing to do with a teaching whatsoever. There's no possibility of teaching this. So this is just emptiness. It's the emptiness of seeking. It's the end of seeking. This is the end of the road. Yeah, sorry, Glenda. Yeah, please.
I cannot find the raise hand
No, don't
icon
worry. No, it's
for the
okay. I
life
could
of
I
me.
could see you. I could see you. Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Enjoyed the conversation that you just had.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Uh, um, I'd like to explore with you the the languaging of the dream,
Hmm.
about the dream. Um, I believe when I hear people such as yourself speaking of just this,
Yeah,
when the dream is referred to, it's synonymous with the illusion of there being the existence of a me, and that imagination is called the dream. That illusion is
right.
referred to as the dream,
Yeah.
and I get that. What I'm curious about to explore with you is this whole isn't like this immediacy
Mm.
a dream, an appearance. Like a dream is just an appearance. It's not real. It has no substance.
There's
It's
I mean, all there is just what appears. There
yes,
isn't anything real. There's just
exactly,
what's apparently happening. There's nothing that's
exactly,
real. Yeah.
exactly.
Because
So isn't that
reality would be reality kind of pins it down. It suggests that there is something, and there is me, and there's a subject, and there's an object, and that's happening in time. All of that
yes?
is part of the illusion.
So what you've just described, isn't that a description of a dream? That it's not real,
Yeah.
It's not really happening. It doesn't
I
really
see. Yeah.
exist.
Hmm.
So
Sure. Well, yes. I mean, yes. In a certain way, yes. Except that yeah. It's all in a way. There's a sort of it depends how you describe a dream in a way. I think perhaps a dream in a certain sense is in this case this is that is fundamentally there is no such thing as there being something real.
Yes,
There is no realness.
exactly. So
Yeah.
this no thing that's appearing,
Hmm.
the appearance, I guess what I'm questioning, the appearance is a dream. Like this is like waking dream. Then there's sleeping, the sleep or the dream of I'm a me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is in a certain sense overcomplicates what we're talking about
Okay.
in a way. Because what's being expressed here is simply that there's a sense of something trying to work out what is a dream and what isn't a dream. And then
Mm.
there's just the complete end of that seeking process.
So you're
The
saying,
end of that whole ideology of trying to find something, you
so
know.
you're saying that the exploration of the languaging or
There's no interest
it's
in
not,
exploration.
it's
Let's
not,
put it like
it's
that.
not, yes, yeah. It doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
There's no
Yeah.
interest in exploration because all there is just what is.
Mm.
When there's just what is, it's so absolutely obvious that that's all that there is.
Yes.
That those kind of questions are, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the question at all, or
Yes.
that kind of that those musings in a certain sense are kind of part and parcel of something trying to identify or find something.
I think what it is I find I like metaphor and often have found that the metaphor of this as a dream and that there that when there is dreaming, it's that same sense of like when you wake up, oh, you realize it's just a dream. And
Hmm.
it's the same with this. It is just this. It's just what's appearing. And
Yeah, it's just what's
it's
apparently
no thing.
happening.
It's just no thing appearing.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is all just appearing. I did have one
I mean,
other.
it's appearing that in a certain sense, the key thing is that it's appearing for no one. I mean,
Yes, abs-
that's sort of
absolutely
that's
the
the sort of
most important.
the
Yeah,
because that's actually in a
that's
certain
most
sense
important.
that's the 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 main thing expressed here is that is really that when there is that sort of falling away, there isn't something that's then kind of identifying anything or trying to or needs those metaphorical expressions, let's say, because there's no need anymore in that way. There's no real requirement to try to find anything.
Mm. When you're, well, there's no one trying to find something. It's like if you are engaging with someone, that response is just happening.
Hmm.
And perhaps not through your body, but perhaps through mine. In other words, metaphor will appear
Yeah, it
in
might. It might.
as
Yeah, it's
as
possible.
respond, as responding. Of course, there's no Glenda here that this is this is coming from.
No,
Um,
no, there isn't. But there's in a certain sense that there's no body at all
Yeah.
there aren't any people, except that there are
Mhm.
quite a lot of apparent people where there is a
Mhm.
sense of there being a me, and
Yes.
that sense of separateness is what, in a certain sense, creates these sort of conversations. This is just
Mm.
a response, in a certain sense, to questions about there being a sense of separation.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Betty, did you have something you wanted to say?
Hi, David. It's actually Lauren. I just have a different
Oh,
Zoom
hi.
account.
Hi, Lauren. How are you doing?
I hope you still are willing to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But
I'm
yeah,
just
no
kidding.
problem. You can
Um,
change your name as many times as you like.
okay, good. Um, yeah, so I have had this question many times, but it's, you know, what can be done to eliminate the illusion of the me state?
Nothing. There's nothing that can be done, because there were all that there would be is somebody trying to do that. So there would be essentially the energy of contraction would be trying to find a solution. So what we're talking about here is just the energy of that energy, that quality of energy, that apparent energy of contraction, simply just breaks down, and there isn't any more sort of attempts to try to figure it out. There isn't any attempts to try to resolve the problem.
Okay, but is there something that, stops happening?
Yeah, this well, I mean, me apparently stops happening. It just there's just no more meing. There's no more. There's no more sense of needing to seek. No more sense
Huh.
of ambition in that respect.
So it's a difference of intention.
No, no. It's the end of intention. Only me really has intention. This is the me state is really the uh, uh, only quality that actually has intention.
Hmm.
There's
And
no
everything
plant
so
or
that
animal, or there's no plants and animals out there that you'll find with any kind of intention whatsoever. It's just what's going on. It's just what's happening. There's no intention required. Intention has got
uh,
a huge amount of effort involved. This is completely effortless.
so how is it maintained?
It's not maintained. This is the end of any kind of requirement for maintenance. That's what's so lovely about, in a way, it's an incredible good thing, is that this doesn't need maintenance. I mean, nothing doesn't require anything. That's pretty good.
But there's, I guess I just wonder, there's no connection between you going to, well, whatever it is that you did, you know, your your body did for a parent time. It's not connected to this freedom.
No, no, because the thing is that what me the way that in the world of me, if you like, um, everything's in time, and everything's got a sort of cause and effect. So that's what seems to be going on in the apparent world of meing, the world of the me state. It's in time. It's progressive. And so what is expressed here is that all of that whole idea of a progressive cause and effect universe is a total illusion. All of that is part of the same thing. All there is timelessness. There's just timelessness, and that timelessness is not possible to grasp.
Hmm. So then how can it be described? Like, how can it
Oh,
be?
it can't. It can't be described. This
Uh-huh.
this I the this is not this is not describing anything at all. It's just talking around the subjects. I can't describe what this is. The best words that I can come up with are things like immediacy, aliveness, newness, these sort of qualities. But
Yeah.
but it doesn't really touch it. There was
There's
somebody last time that was saying, that no, they didn't like any of the words that I was using about this because it didn't touch. Well, and that's absolutely correct. This doesn't, it is not I'm not going to get to what is, because it's already everything. It's already everything.
mm, it's actually almost misleading to even talk about it because
Oh yeah.
there's
Oh
no
yeah, totally. I
like
totally
even
missed
the
it.
word, yeah, like to
Yeah.
say that it's seen or that it
Yeah.
is uh any like witness of any
Yeah.
kind
Absolutely.
is
Yeah.
duality. Yeah.
Total duality. And unfortunately,
And
you will see me using words like that and, totally fucking it up, quite regularly. So yeah, because it's simply that there's just words, language, but it's not about the words or the language. What is expressed here is nothing to do with words. This is wordless. This is wordless. It doesn't have any words.
yeah, yeah. But the attempt is just as much whatever this is as a tree or a
Yeah.
telephone pole.
Yeah. Dog barking. This is a
Mm,
toddler. This is the expression of a toddler.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then just quickly, because I'm around, young children, there is like a seeking type of, I'm gonna say energy just because I don't have a better word. Like there's a mode of like wanting, whether it's wanting to get picked up or wanting you know, um, to grab something that you're withholding from the child. Like there's this like give
Yeah.
me this type of energy, and that reminded me in a way of the sort of just searching for something to satiate that the
Yeah.
me is sort of guilty of, and yet
Yeah. I mean,
there's no, yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
The me state seems to um, seems to apparently form during the early part of childhood, when the brain gets to a level of complexity that can abstract a sense of me, can abstract a sense of I am. As soon as that sort of comes in, then so the dream of me, of myself, it comes in, and that quality to begin with, I think, doesn't have any words associated with it. It in a certain sense is quite a perhaps quite a physical sensation in the body, this I am. And that brings about what we can sometimes see as sort of those tantrums that very young children have for no
Uh-huh.
apparent reason, you know just spontaneous explosion, you know.
Wow. Uh-huh.
And it's really
Yeah.
just that formation of that sense of separateness, which is excruciatingly uh, difficult, but is then sort of layered over as time goes on. Being an adult becomes normal. It is a normal thing that I am and you are, and that's the normal way that we converse and have apparent relationships. There is no
Uh-huh.
relationship, actually.
It's interesting. Yeah. Um,
I was gonna say something more, to that, if I'm not skipping anybody else.
no, though, that's fine.
Let's just see if did you finish, Lauren?
Well, I just was going to ask one last thing, or just to
Yeah.
reflect that I think that there is this seeking type. I don't know, like it's reaching for or grasping at, but it's not associated with a me, and the me is somehow the it's yeah, just that there can be like
Yeah.
discomfort or
I
you know.
completely understand what you're talking about. I mean,
Mhm.
essentially, there is still a moving towards, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a moving towards and a moving away. There is still attraction to things. There is also repulsion. Attraction and repulsion. That body, those bodies, the kids will go towards what they like and will move away from what they don't like. There is still movement towards pleasure and movement away from pain. This is just a completely natural function of the body, and that will be, I need food, I need something to drink, all of those kind of things. It's a very functional thing. When it comes to me and the me state, that sort of apparent quality, there's an energy there where it wants to find something which it will never be able to it will never be able to find what it wants, but it will grasp at everything. And that quality is quite a different quality to it. It's not something that is uh, uh, um, you could say is not necessarily part of that body, the animal body. It's something that is going on that's extra. It's an extra aspect. The me state is something that is only found that we know of in human beings. Everything else doesn't have that. So yeah,
Ah, really fascinating. Thank you.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I was gonna say something, definitely, obviously in context of this kind of where we're going together, in the conversation, in that kind of way, I think of sometimes people will talk and it'll be very serious, but they might not have like the common goal.
Look
Unlike
at
in
all these
this.
people.
Hello. But yeah, I mean, I guess we're talking, one word to put on it is freedom. You know, that's a good word. Something that's common to everybody, really. Whether you're spiritual or not, to use a big, serious kind of, term of comparison, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's really kind of like, uh, uh, um, I don't know. I think the universe, our shared universe, you can't really fake it, is something I guess to say in that way. And also, if you think
I
about
mean,
what
can
really,
you, if you got something to say, can you just ask it in the form of a question? If you do have a question, then please let me know. But otherwise, I've got a few people with their hands up, so I need to respond to them as they go on. So it's not so much that sort of like, it's not like a conversation just on that level. So if you just put your hand up, I'll get to you. I just have got a couple of people more that I need to speak to. Yeah. So can I first?
yeah, I'll ask a question, sir.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, can you just wait for a couple of moments? I'm just going to speak to these guys because they had their hands up first. So can you just? Is it Shir or Johan that was actually going to?
I was going to ask if I have to wait. Yeah.
Great. Okay, Shir, yeah, please. Can
Yes.
you yeah.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Nice to see you. It's the first time I participate in your meeting, but I heard just the video, your videos, and I just think to participate. And thank you very much for that. I think to ask you before you did said that you just can talk about it around this, but not the self. What do you mean by that? Because when you something speak around this, it's the means too, you know.
Yes, well, I mean, it's all I really mean is that it's very difficult to describe what is because it's already everything. This is just what is being expressed here is just what is. So it can't really be talked about in that way. It's just that the words that I will use will not be adequate. That's another way of saying it.
Yes, because yes, I understand that. Because if you talk about it, okay, but but who's talking about it around, you
Well,
say?
there isn't anyone that's talking about it or around it.
No,
If you're talking about this is just an expression out of nothing. This is just
yeah,
so there's not really there's no plan here. I don't have a plan
yeah,
what to say. So it's just what spontaneously expresses.
yeah, thank you. I understood that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think to ask you about when you talk about emergency, is that the means that everything is itself but not separate?
Yes, I mean everything is what it is, and there's no sense of separateness. Yes, there's no sense of separation because there is no separation.
It's just it's just the same energy in different form, isn't it?
It's just what is.
It's just what is, yes. But yeah, I just actually I have no any question, but it's just arise the question
Yeah, yeah,
because
that's fine. No
because you
problem.
said you talk around, you know, so that's why I ask if it's
Yeah,
around, so it required two, you know.
yeah.
So that
It's again, once again,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
will
I understood.
it never work.
I understood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. Thank
pleasure.
you.
It's a
Nice
pleasure.
to
Yeah.
see you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Johan, yeah. Did you have some question?
Yeah, good evening, David. Nice to see you.
Hi,
I
nice to see
actually raised my hand after Joey indicated he had something to say.
you.
So,
Okay. So maybe we speak to Joe if I can
No,
speak to
no, no,
Joey
go ahead,
first, and then
sir.
I'll come to you. Yeah, please, Joe.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess to phrase it as a question, sorry, I didn't know the format before coming in. And being a spiritual guide, you're used to kind of presenting, instead of asking things, I guess. But yeah, so forgive me. I'm new here. But
No
yeah,
problem.
angel blessings. Yeah, let's ask a question. So the name of the group is This Immediacy, and you gave an explanation, and I've seen your material before, and it's a very, consistent, which I appreciate, on behalf of everybody, the clarity that this is what it's about, right? This immediacy, which is just like I think of like Eckhart Tolle, you probably know him, talks about presence,
Yes,
it,
this is very, I mean, again, this is extremely, is it, Eckhart Tolle very often is described as somebody who is talking about that we're using words that are around this kind of message, but it's a very different thing that's being expressed.
yeah, well, I mean, in that way, I mean, I guess that we're my question would be, what is there well, this is one that's interesting. Is there a problem with life? Is there something that is wrong about it? In context, I guess, of this passion, that is obviously present. And I guess I'll go with that, and yeah.
Only me sees that there's a problem. The idea of there being a problem is really part of that me state. It's really part of me is always about seeing problems and finding solutions. It's all about problem, solution, problem, solution. This is the format of me, if you like. It's always trying to find a solution.
Right. Right. I could see how that in that way, is maybe we could say redundant, right? If it's, kind of on repeat about something that isn't really worth the attention. I could see how that is.
Well,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, the me state is just a constant loop. It's just a constant looping. That's in a certain sense all it is. Is this just the looping of contraction? apparently.
Right.
It seems to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that way, we're immediately kind of, at least facing it right now, So that's a good thing, Hopefully you don't feel too bad, about that.
Well,
It's a good.
there is no good and bad. There's just what is. There's just this. Yeah. So yeah, but thank you for your question. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll be around. Yeah. This is good. Good.
Thanks. Johan, yes,
Hmm.
sorry.
Yeah, so much clarity. Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
You said earlier, I was thinking, could the body be described as hardwired thoughts? You can't get rid of them.
The body would be
Yeah.
described as hardwired thoughts. Why would you say the
Well, earlier you gave me the idea that pain is a hardwired thought, could be seen as a hardwired thought. Maybe that could be extended to the body itself.
I mean, I don't know the answer to that. All I can say is that there's just that body, this body just will move towards pleasure and away from pain. It just does that. It just does that instinctively. And there's also and that's the same as saying that there's an attraction and there's a repulsion. It's just what apparently goes on with this body. And there's nobody doing that. So pain is a response. I don't really see that pain as being something that's hardwired. The me state is something that is essentially, in a certain way you can say that it's sort of a resistor in a circuit. It impedes the function of that expression I was just mentioning, of that moving towards pleasure and moving away from pain. It blocks that function, that natural function, and it makes that slower, more inefficient. That's what seems to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I wouldn't describe these things as sort of wired in a way. Yeah.
No. You brought me to the next thought, which is, can one be? This is the question. Can one be without experiencing the body?
Well, there's no one. When there's no one, there's just the body. There's just the body. The body isn't experienced by anything. It's just what is.
No, but there is experience of.
Yeah, there is sensation. It's just for no one. There is just sensation. There is response, but there's no one doing any of that. It's just what seems to happen.
No, but that cannot be dissociated from the life we're living. It seems to be impossible to be without experiencing the body.
Well, it does for me. me
I know.
me really is committed to a life of of there just being experience. It's my life, it's my experience. So everything that seems to go on is then put into that construction called my life, and is then it then follows on that my life is full of my experiences.
Hence the difficulty of breaking out of it.
Well, hence the fact that there is no one that can break out of it, and there is ultimately just that quality of contraction which just falls apart.
Yeah. And earlier you said nothing's real. I would add, except for the reality that you are.
No, that's the primary thing that isn't real.
Yeah, I know. It's a semantic thing, I think.
Well, there's
my education versus yours, but
there's no I mean, with that, the right at the, the core, if you like, is that there is an apparent center.
Yeah,
That apparent center is what falls out. This is without a center.
but in your book, would this be reality as such? This immediacy. Could you define that as being
No, you couldn't really call it a reality, because that then describes it as something real, and it describes it as a thing. And me would do that. I mean, there is a way of describing this where one can describe what is as natural reality, but natural reality is not a very good term. It doesn't, because it makes it think that the me immediately latches onto that and says, ah, so there is a reality. I knew it. I
Ah,
knew
no,
there was a
that's not about.
reality, and
Yeah,
that's what it is, right? But
right.
actually, when we talk about natural reality, it's actually describing something that is totally different to what me has in its fantasy.
Yeah, we just do our best with words. I think
Right,
that's
right.
right.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Katie.
Yeah, hi, thank you.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to share something brief and then see what you have to say about it,
Sure,
if
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Please.
So, related to the dream topic that came up earlier, for me, something I notice is when I watch the videos of speakers or attend these meetings, it can feel like I'm dreaming. Like the sense, it's kind of like a visceral feeling of like things seem um like the less real, and I like it. So that's the problem is then I think like, oh, I want more of that. I want more of that dream feeling
Yeah.
because things feel less solid then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a quality of I don't know, a sort of unraveling or a softening that sometimes seems to go on in these sort of conversations, because there's a sense of contraction, that's trying to get somewhere. And in certain bodies there's just a recognition in a certain way that there is nothing that can possibly be got, and that can be for some apparent people, it can be that feels relaxing. For other people it can make them feel extremely annoyed, and they extreme and much more irritated they were than they were before they started. So it's just what seems to go on. But yeah, I mean, it can be that there is a sense of a relaxation, because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go, anything to get. There's nothing to get. It's a wonderful thing, related to any other situation. It's like, oh God, I better write that down, because there's something very important there that I've got to put down. And I've got to make sure that I remember that. I've got to keep on maintaining this, because otherwise, I'm not going to get it. And the great thing about this is that nobody ever gets it. There's no possibility of anybody getting this.
Hmm. That's what makes it so beautiful. And then other times it's so like there's so much trying to get it
Yeah,
somehow or keep
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what seems to go on and on until it just doesn't.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I guess I do have a question.
Yeah, Joey. Yeah, hi.
Hi, Mr. Nassim David. What do you think, in context of this, obviously, about belonging? You know, that kind of basic human, some would say, need, rooted in us of belonging in context of this kind of very ultimately alone pursuit, we could say, or understanding of life.
Well, I mean, belonging is really part of me's expression. It's really about needing to feel um, not wanting to feel alone. The aloneness of what is it's too impersonal. It needs to feel that it's being protected in a way, because ultimately me feels that because there is a sense of separateness from everything, there everything it seems to be threatening. So belonging makes that threat, the sense of feeling threatened by everything. It seems to make that threat reduced, little bit reduced for a little while, of course, because belonging, doesn't last very long. Then the what can apparently happen is, with or without me, there can still be attraction and repulsion. There can still be a moving towards other people and a moving away. That's absolutely natural and normal. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But when me takes hold of that, it turns it into my sense of belonging to something. And that is just, what seems to go on. Yeah, Gabriella?
Hey, David. How do I lower my hand? Right, done that. Yeah, I keep putting up my hand and then changing my mind.
Yeah, I
And
noticed that. I thought you were waving, for
if I'd have done it a little bit faster, it would have been a bit like that, wouldn't it?
yeah.
And I quite like that last point actually, because I mean, I liked all of them. I've liked everything, but I was thinking of that belonging thing. And then I just had this picture in my head of like lots of puppies all sort of curled up next to each other.
Yeah.
So there's like connection, but it's not, I don't know, there's like a comfort in it. It's just a natural response. I think
Yeah.
human
Sure.
beings like being touched, for
Right. Well, sometimes, yeah.
sometimes, yeah, it does depend. And it depends. No, we won't go there. We won't.
Right. I mean, you're taking this
We won't. So sometimes human
right,
beings like being touched, and there's
yeah.
a nice thing, and there's a whole nervous system response, isn't there, about
Right, right.
hugged and held and things. But that is very different from that needing to
Yeah,
belong.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a need. A need is a good way to describe it. A need, a neediness, a need love, whatever you want to describe. That's very often what me is all about. And this is not to do with, attraction and repulsion and movement towards pleasure, movement away from pain. This natural function of the body doesn't have any of that stuff in it. It's not to do with, you know, getting my needs met or something like that. Forget it.
I mean, yeah. And you and I've spoken to you a little bit about this, this just absolute sense at the moment of just extreme angst, which
Mm.
completely seems to belong to that part that feels separate. So without even saying a me, that part that feels desperately separate and
Yeah,
frantic
yeah,
to not feel the angst of that, but
yeah,
seems to have run out of things that make it feel better.
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
finding a person to fix it. There's no finding a drug to fix it. There's no workaholism doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all of the aholisms, you know, the
Yeah.
isms,
Yeah.
which
Nothing works.
nothing works.
Yeah.
So there can be just that, and it is absolute. The contraction feels so extreme
Mm.
that it feels it wants to sort of implode in on itself or explode or
Yeah. Well, it does, but it also wants to watch that happening.
well, of course, it wants to feel better.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. But it wants to kind of be an observer of that whole thing at the same time as wanting to die. It wants to die, but it wants to see its own death.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, you don't get that.
no,
Well, not unfortunately. It's just how you know all that seems to go on is that just that process that seeming contraction that's going on there, it just goes on until it just doesn't.
and it seems like in moments, or other people call them glimpses. I wouldn't say that. Moments as seems to be just not there.
Hmm.
Just not there, and nothing happens to make that happen or not happen.
Yeah,
So it's like there's moments where it's so fucking obvious that nothing could be done because actually there isn't anything.
yeah,
Just you know, oh, it's gone.
yeah.
Where is it? Has it fall? Has the me fallen underneath the table or something? It's just
Hmm.
So yeah. Oh, I don't know, but this is as confusing as ever. I will say
Well,
that.
yeah, but of course, I mean that's the thing, isn't it? Me is ultimately trying to straighten everything out.
Yeah.
Let's kind of sort everything out. Let's get everything sorted.
In a life,
Because everything's all fucked up. So we've got to kind of get everything sorted and fixed. And then we know that do this, and then do that, and do the other thing, and then everything's going to be okay. Well, yeah, sorry, that's just me trying to control everything. So of course it's going to be it is confusing, because there's no method. This is
and
just the end of methods.
but that sense of is it impotence or impotence of being, or just unable
Yeah.
to affect anything anymore,
Mm. Yeah.
is like, it's like fuck,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
that's
Yeah.
and it's in a world that says, well, we know what you should do.
Yeah.
This is what you should take. This is the path. Meditate a bit more, do a bit more this, do a bit more that, go out more, go in less,
Yeah.
whatever,
Well,
million.
it's not, no, it's all about becoming, because what is just not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is it's yeah, the rocks at rock bottom.
Yeah. And that's it too, isn't it? Because I think for me, it was always like when I first came across this message, it was like, oh yeah, so I've got to get rid of the me in order, because that's not it. But it's
Yeah,
like, well, it's all it. It's all
it's all
this. How can it be anything other?
it can't. This is me as a fever.
Mm, I think that's really good because definitely there's heat to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fever. And there ain't anybody that's there's no, what are you going to do about that,
I've taken all the pills. They
You
didn't
tried
work.
it all, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, David.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I don't want to skip anybody, but I was going to say or ask something, but if someone else is there, feel free.
No, no, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Lovely. Thank you, sir. So, Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't get your name, miss, but in the context of adding, with respect to that, and to give a compliment first before I ask something, I think it's very important for people to be I may have used the word earlier, sincerity, and
Yeah,
yes,
there's no requirement here for any kind of sincerity whatsoever. People can be as insincere as they want here. In fact, this is a complete sort of openness to insincerity, if you like. Yeah, but carry on.
Yeah, I mean, in that way, that's a good sign of health, mental health in the sense that you don't have too many conditions, right? And you're allowing life to be as it is. So to ask something, um, I guess in that way, I kind of want to like ask something about mental health in context of I don't know, I would say um attachments. That's an interesting word in context of this kind of work, self-work, I guess you could say,
Yeah, it's
of
not, I mean, okay, let me just talk about those two things because just to,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, the attachments and work. So this is of no kind of work whatsoever. This is actually pointing out that any kind of work, spiritual work, or any kind of work that's done on myself is done by me, is done by the very thing that wants to break free. So all that does, in a certain sense, is actually reinforce the sense of me getting somewhere. There is a reinforcement of that quality of me getting somewhere through work done on me. It's all about becoming all of that. And then the idea of attachments, attachments. Again, this is from a lot of Buddhist traditions associated with feeling that attachments are the thing that is preventing me from getting somewhere, is preventing me from getting to an apparent enlightenment or apparent liberation. There is no such thing as a liberation or enlightenment for a person. Nobody becomes enlightened or liberated. It is the end, in fact, of there being any such ideology, any such goal orientations. So attachments, in a certain sense, are associated with there being a spiritual path. That in itself, in a sense, is the fundamental attachment. It is the nature of me, the nature of the nature of the apparent me is attachment, is the contraction that is longed, that body longs to dispense with. But unfortunately, there's no one that can do anything about that. That just falls away. The me state, one of the best ways I can describe that is that the me state is a fever. It's for nobody. Nobody designed that. It was never created by anybody. There's no such thing as a sin that is about somebody needing to, change or do something different in order for that to fall away. That just falls away. It just apparently can, or sometimes doesn't, but it apparently can fall away without there needing to be anything that's done as a process or any attempt to try to fix what already is. When there's no attempt to fix the one that's trying to fix, the one that's trying to be the fixer, the one that's trying to be the healer, that's what falls away. Thanks, Luke.
Hi, David.
Hi, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you. Are you I know, well, is this atheism? Like there's no acknowledgement of a higher power?
Yeah. This is beyond atheism. Yeah. No, there's definitely, absolutely, there's no possibility of any kind of hierarchy whatsoever. Hierarchy is really just the expression of the me state. Of course,
So is there,
me has to go. Sorry, just to say, it's not, God that created man. It's man that creates God.
okay.
Yeah.
There seems to be intelligent design
Well,
in this material world.
well, I mean, there's that's only from the perspective of me looking at it all and kind of going, oh, somebody must have designed this. Who was it? They were brilliant, and then, trying to, yeah, I mean, me, that's what me does. It anthropomorphizes things. That is, by the way, my own addition to the world of non-duality. That word, by the way, that's trademarked.
What's the word?
Anthropomorphism.
That's very
Yeah.
so what does that word mean?
I mean, it just means that it's in its own image. Me, the contraction of me, apparently projects onto the world what it, sees, which is a world, a sense of separateness. So there must be a designer. Who is he? I want to meet him. There's no designer because there's no one.
And what about soul? Is there a soul?
Oh, of course, no. No. I mean, no way. Again, this is all about the center, the center, trying to find the center. There must be a soul at the center, or a mind at the center, or a me at the a fundamental me at the center, which is unbreakable, and which is then gets passed, on through lifetimes and things like this. Because then I mustn't lose. It's all an attempt by me of trying to make sure that it carries on. It's about continuity. Me is always attempting to find continuity, because ultimately there's that sense of separateness is all, in a sense, all fearful. It's very afraid. So it needs to keep going because it's afraid of ending. And then it goes to sleep, interestingly, at night, and there is no more me. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Well, it seems like some spiritual teachings talk about an ego, a soul, and an ego.
Yeah, it's very complicated, isn't it?
And
This is
so,
really not complicated. This is utterly simple. All there is this.
yeah.
That's it. It's just immediacy.
So go back to church if you want God.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, you won't find him there either, but you can try.
All right. Thank you, David.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
David Prem has his hand raised.
Oh, sorry. I thank you so much. Yeah, no, that's Luke. Yeah, he had his. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Hi, David.
Hi, Catherine. Hi.
Hello. It's funny, I was reading a bit about constitution or, a law, either in British, or I was looking at Belgian constitution. And so under that, there's man and woman. And then there's the fiction of a name, an address, a postcode, even the name United Kingdom is nothing. It's fictional. There's the land of Britain, and then for a man, woman is the physical body, but everything that comes along with the fiction, like the human rights or
Yeah.
You know, everything comes from that fiction, and it's funny how you find this no me even in law, you know, in the
Yes.
constitution, in the natural law, natural law.
Yes, it is. All of it is illusory. It is all a story. You know, there has to be, all of these things are stories. You know, which you know, we get used to using those stories, and you know, we know what an address is or whatever, but they're all stories. Yeah.
Yes, but it's all fictional. There's no, the body might be seen as flesh and blood, you know, but
Yes, there's no
yeah.
well, there's nobody there that knows, you know, that assigns any kind of identity. There's no masculinity or femininity or any of that. You know,
Yes,
so any attempt to try to identify oneself as one or the other thing is always a part of the me scape, if you like. So it's always that. It's always, you know, always this kind of thing, and then that goes on and on and on. You know, but it just because that's the case, it doesn't mean that one can't use those words and they have an apparent meaning.
yes. Sorry, by the way, I forgot to put my hand up before.
Oh no, don't worry. No, don't worry about that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Hi, Anita.
Hi, David. Nice to see
Hi.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this brain is sometimes still thinking in an associated way. So when you were talking about fever, the me is a fever, then you know, with fever, I have something like the fever is always working for the body in a positive way, because it's in a way it's attacking. It's helping the immune system. So in a way, yeah, there's nothing to understand, of course, but I don't understand about the fever.
Oh well, it's just again a bad term, you know. And it's not never very good. You're not going to get any very good terms from here, I'm afraid. But it's a way of expressing in a way that there is no one there's no one that forms the me state. There's nobody that does that. So there's nobody that can then fix it. You know, it's you know, it's this
It's
kind of
already
idea
perfect.
that there's somebody that's you know, that there's an origin that can be resolved. There's nobody that fixes me because there's nobody that formed. It's just what seems to go on
Yeah,
with human beings.
yeah,
That's all I meant.
yes. I guess I just wanted to talk to you or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please,
Thank you very
anytime.
much.
Of course, yeah. Lauren?
Can you talk about the difference before and after?
Say that again. Can I talk about it?
The difference before and after your not having a me.
Well, it isn't that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything. This is the end of having something. So it's the you know that there is all. I mean, me longs to have that sense of there being a before and an after, and then comparing the two and kind of going, okay, what in a certain sense, you know, what is that? Why does it want to know? Why does me want to understand that? Because it's trying to find steps. It's trying to find steps in order that I can get somewhere. That's why that question arises, you know. And all that I can say is that there's just there's an apparent falling away. Nothing actually, in the end, there's in the end, it's the end of happenings. Is the end of happenings. Instead of there being something that happens, it's the end of happening. Because it's the end of there being someone that's seeking for the next thing. It's a way of describing it. And that, in a way, in the body, there, in this body, there was a sense of a relaxation. Very subtle, just that. And it was very, that apparent falling away was unconsequentially beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, Johan.
I think Betty was first.
Yes, Betty is actually Lauren.
Oh,
So
hey, Lauren.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. I'm trying to manage a few different names here.
So
Yeah.
Lauren, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's she's already gone. Actually, you see, it's
Oh.
you. Yeah.
Oh, right. I think I forgot my question.
No problem.
Which would be a good thing.
No problem. If
maybe
he comes back, you come in again. No problem. Yeah, thanks. Nancy, or maybe not. Nancy, I don't see her.
I do remember now.
Ah, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Nancy,
Sorry.
go ahead. Just go ahead.
Okay, Nancy, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, please. Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Sorry, there was you were talking about an apparent, I don't know, unraveling or something of that nature. And but I guess I'm wondering about how things can feel in this, how the body can just, I'll just say it in terms of what's going on here. Okay, so I think I've talked to you before about my husband passing away. And the grief and that arises just can arise. The grief just comes. It just can hit me at any time and with any intensity. But there's also I feel like I'm falling apart in that way.
Yeah,
Not,
sure.
not, I'm going to cry because I'm talking about it. Not just because of grief, but maybe because of this message, because I already maybe felt like I was falling apart before that occurred, before my husband passed.
Sure.
But there's also a feeling that my physical health as well is falling apart.
Yeah.
Whether I describe it as being since my husband passed, but maybe also because of this message, I don't know.
Well,
yeah, I was wondering if you could say something about the physical body, and do we hold things in our body, traumas, or is that well, when I say we, then that does sound like there's someone holding it. But does traumas and things, just do they reside in the body without even really being aware of it? I mean, sometimes I'm not aware of what I'm
no,
feeling
that's
in any given moment until suddenly it comes out,
sure. Yeah, sure. I mean, the body the body can hold trauma, the body can hold tension for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And there's no body that is there's nothing to do, you know, with that. There's nothing to fix with that. There's nothing needing to fix that. What seems to be going on there.
Yeah.
It's what seems to be going on.
Yeah. And there's no knowing a cause, and there's really no cause.
There's no cause or effect. There's just what seems to be going on. Sometimes there's an appearance of grief, and sometimes there isn't.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody that does something about that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to sit with that. I'm not sure what else I need to ask
Sure.
you
No,
or want to ask you,
no,
put
no,
it that
no
way.
problem. Yeah.
Thank you so much, David.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So what I was gonna say, David,
Yeah, sure.
judging from your answer, your last answer to me, I think you also choose your words wisely, trying to prevent pitfalls people might step into, hearing what you say.
Well, I mean, those words seem to feel right. You know, they just resonate. So that's why they're used. There's a distinct lack of wisdom in everything that I say.
Some things just are right and others are not, without
Yeah, yeah.
knowing why, of course. But you can't prevent it, right? Because if you say there's no good or bad, somebody might think, oh well, if there's no good or bad, if it can be either way, I'll just take the easy route and just take this with me from the supermarket without paying for it, just something like that, you know?
I mean,
Can't prevent it.
I mean, this is like are you suggesting that I'm inciting some kind of theft?
Of course not.
This is not.
Of course, I wouldn't.
No.
But anything you can say could be interpreted in a way you can't control. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, but that's
Still
of
in your
course
mouth.
absolutely. And the thing is that whatever is said here is not very important. You have to remember that what this is not in it. What is being expressed. This is not saying anything important at all. In a certain way, as I've said many times before, you could be speaking to the cupboards behind, and you would be getting quite a similar statement, which is that all there is what is.
Yeah, it's about the reality behind the words.
So it is not suggesting that there's anything important that is being expressed. There's nothing important. All that this is expressing is just simply to point out what is already recognized, already at some level recognized there, which is that there is nothing possible to do.
Of course, it's just nice to express, right?
Yeah, it's what seems to happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hi, David. It's Nancy again. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just got
Catherine?
sorry. Let me just
Catherine, you go.
Thanks.
It wasn't, it's just for you to do a plug about your weekend in Brighton?
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I've got a weekend in Brighton. If anybody wants to come, so it's on the. Let me just get the dates right here. It's the 26th to the 28th. If there's anybody that wants to come, it's on my events page. Thank you, Catherine. And yeah, just Nancy, did you want to say something? And then we're going to close.
Yeah, just very quickly. I didn't realize what time it was. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
Just that I sat with this for a minute, what you said, and it's just such a, just wanted to tell you there's such a lightness. It seems like such a lightening up of just because I expressed that and because of what you said and
Fucker got me.
seemingly, but anyway, just wanted to tell you there was a real lightness, and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And I mean, there's just what is, this is all that is being expressed here is just that what is longed for already is everything. You can't get away from it. You can't find a solution because it already is what is longed for.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today, and hope to see you guys again.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone.